Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. We made it to Friday? Is this Friday today? Anyway, it doesn't matter what day it is, does it? It's Friday. A little housekeeping about June, which is coming really quick. I might take a couple days off in a row. And I don't know how many a couple is. It's not two. A couple to me means not one. Anything not one is a couple. So I didn't get the house, but I do have an appointment with a rental tomorrow. And if that goes well, then I should be moving around the 19th of June. I'm going to try to get him to give it to me earlier. I'm going to try very hard. So I don't know exactly what days it's going to be. It's just going to be, I just don't know if my internet, my power, everything's going to be set up and ready, and I don't want you guys to just sit around and wait. It's possible I could upload a couple premieres, so the stream would still run. I just wouldn't be here. But chat would be open and you guys could still talk to each other and everything. And you know, if I can, I could probably hop in chat. But I could do that. That way if you guys still want to go into chat, it's there. We'll be busy. So that's happening in, I don't know, a couple weeks. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Later. Hopefully they say yes. Right? This group can't agree on nothing, Brad. I guarantee you, if I put a request for extra streams and a request for time off, both, neither would get approved, because you guys, this is a light bulb. But if I ask chat what this is, you guys would argue. you guys would argue for 20 minutes on what this thing right here is. It's a backdrop. AI. Alright, we're going to start a murder trial today that should end tomorrow. So, no, absolutely not. Oh my gosh, but the place I got, the house isn't like the best. This rental, the house is a little beat up, but it's on an acre. A huge piece of land so animals are no problem. A big barn comes with it, because you need big pieces of equipment to mow this huge piece of land. It's good enough. The paint outside is really bad, but I don't care what the paint outside of my house looks like. That's not, the house still works exactly the same, whether it's painted perfectly or chipping. And, you know, we can get it. Yes, you do. And we can, a swing. I should get a swing in the back of a huge fire pit. And there's nothing like Pennsylvania fire pits. Beer, fire pit, Pennsylvania. There's no place in the world where I mean, mountain pies and s'mores. I'm not a big s'mores person, but I mean, I won't say no to them. Anyway, we're headed into a murder trial. So today we're going to hear from the girlfriend, and then we're going to hear from the popo. I did cut out almost all of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation testimony from this trial. Almost all of it. Because it just gets no more boring than that. Now, I will be uploading this full trial into members only section, so you can see all the parts that I cut out. We got the medical examiner, which I left some of her in, but I cut out a lot of her. I cut out a lot of the boring, just so you know. Still get some boring parts here, but you get the girlfriend, and then tomorrow you get more. Today you get the murderer's girlfriend. Tomorrow you get the murdered girlfriend. And I did cut out all of the victim impact statements at the end, because they were really sad. But they're going to be in the members only area too. And damn, I talked way too much Now, look, I'm not gonna get any viewers from the stream because I already screwed up. I need someone like with a flashlight beside me, to say, stop talking, press play. I need someone to control me a little bit. There's no one in the earth. No one in the earth big enough for that job. Could you imagine if that was your job, to control me and this stream? Forget about it. Someone would have to like throw donuts at me or something, or shake up a cup of coffee. Okay, I'll pause. Look, I'm still talking. Here.
Number 23R026 State versus Brandon Daniel Spires. That's you, sir?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. I'll note for the record that Mr. Spires is seated at council table with Ms. Riedel. And I don't have you on my calendar today, but Ms. Riedel, what business do you need to...
I already screwed up, so it doesn't matter. Friend, you don't even know. I got views, and they start climbing my stream, and then I start talking. Pew. I'll show you someday. I think I put it in... No, that was mod chat. I'll show you.
Bring forward to the court at this time.
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Spires has told me that he wants to represent himself. I just need to make sure he understands what that means, make sure that's what he wants to do, and get direction from the court.
All right. Well, Mr. Spires, Ms. Riedel has passed along here, and accordingly, you have requested apparently to waive your right to have Ms. Riedel represent you and to proceed with this trial representing yourself. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, sir. That's what I just said. Yes, sir.
That is to say, you have requested to represent yourself in this matter. Is that correct?
I just want
pull that down, Ms. Riedel.
Your Honor, I'm by no means a lawyer. I don't know my rights, but I have a right to effective counsel, and my counsel is not effective. So,
well, Mr. Spires, we've had this part of this conversation before. You don't get to pick who your lawyer is.
I understand that, sir.
And just because you don't like what your lawyer is telling you, that does not necessarily mean that you have either a conflict or ineffective assistance of counsel. Now, make sure you understand.
So this morning, when I got home from work, I'll tell you, this morning when I got home from driving my daughter to work, we had huge storms. So the street is a disaster. And there were utility trucks all down the street, okay, including in front of my house. So when I got home, I could not park my car in front of my house, okay? I can't use my driveway because my son totaled my other car, and that is currently just sitting in the driveway, okay? So I parked my car in front of the the next house over, between their two houses, all right? So then at 4:40 p.m., I wake up. My alarm clock is going off. I wake up. I'm supposed to go get my daughter from work at 5 p.m. Instead, I thought it was 4:40 a.m. And that's why I got into Discord. And I'm like, oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry. Just give me a few more minutes. I thought I was late for my stream, but it was p.m., not a.m., right? So I'm getting ready for the stream. I'm supposed to be going to get my daughter. I'm getting ready for the stream instead, and then I notice how bright it is. It's freaking bright. And then I realized that I am not supposed to live stream at 4:30 p.m. I'm still 12 hours early. I need to go get my daughter. So I'm already a little late because I was trying to get ready for my stream. And I walk outside, there's no car. So I'm like, sugar, my son took the car. The car's gone. And then I remember it's down the street. So I went down the street to get my car. Right? There's a note on my car. I'm going to say something extremely offensive, and I mean it. I am. It's going to be offensive to somebody in here, and I mean it. The fat fucking bitch next door, that neighbor, left a note on my car. Please park in your own spot. Okay? Now I'm between two houses. So, I'm 99% sure it was the fat fucking bitch. That's what I call her. That's her name. And I'm never going to call her anything else. I'm 99% sure it was her. So even though I'm late for my daughter, knocking on the door. Where is she? The husband answers. You leave this note in my car. No, oh no, we didn't leave the note in the car. Now, this woman is a horrible person, just so you know. She's every morning she's out there screaming at her kids. Get in the effing car, I'm going to drag you by your hair and throw you in the car. Every single morning. She is screaming at her girls, swearing at them. She's our 911 operator here, by the way. Anyway, husband was like, no, I didn't. Yeah, because it's a street. You can park wherever you want on a street, all right? So I go to the next house, because I'm parked in between two, and I nicely ring their Ring camera doorbell to see if it was them. And it wasn't. So I try to go to get my daughter, which I'm already late, way late already. And there's like, I hate my cats, I hate them. There's like all these cop cars and ambulances trying to get through 5 o'clock traffic where I live. So all the traffic is stopped. I can't get out. So finally, I wait. Finally I get out and I get to another road, and then all these police cars and ambulances are coming in the other direction. I don't know why the two just didn't stay where they were, but it doesn't matter. So I have to wait. I'm hella late for my daughter. Hella late. But the whole car ride home, I'm like, I'm going to find them. I'm going to find her. I'm going to find that neighbor. Because who the F does she think she is telling me where I can park my car? So, yeah, I was uncontrollable today. My daughter's like, Mom, I'm going right into the house. I said, I don't care. Go in the house. I don't care. You might want to call the police while you're at it. Because how dare her? So that's how hard it is to control me. My kids can't control me. I obviously can't control me. But I never found her. I will. She can bully her daughters all she wants, but she ain't bullying me. Anyway, I didn't murder her. I didn't, but we are watching a murder trial. It's just not me. On trial.
I'm not here to referee any disputes. My sole function today is to determine whether or not you are making a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Now, we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, and you've repeated it again now. You want to have a lawyer to represent you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, an effective lawyer.
Well, then that's the end of the inquiry, Mr. Spires. Whether you like her or not, or you like her or she likes you, that doesn't factor into it, Mr. Spires. You do not.
Nothing to do with it, sir.
You don't get to pick, and it's just that simple.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we are proceeding with the trial. The jury will be here at 8:45 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to proceed with the trial, Mr. Spires. You understand that?
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's it. We'll see you all first thing in the morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm not the one telling her where she can park.
Until 9
She's
o'clock
the
tomorrow
Karen.
morning.
I'm the Karen bully. So he wanted a
All right,
new
Ms. Hess, you
lawyer.
can swear her in and proceed.
All right, if you please raise your right hand.
He wanted a new lawyer the day before his murder trial. That's what he wanted. The judge said no. So she's here today.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give today in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And can you please
I did think about that, Bren. You're not going to be able to understand what they're saying, but you don't watch the video. So I dismissed that.
state your name for the record and spell it for the court reporter?
Kamala Boone, Kamalaboone.
Ms. Boone, on December the 28th of 2022, where were you living at that time?
1889 Connect Road, Milan.
All right, and is that here in Telfair County?
Yes.
Okay. And so on that specific date, do you recall an incident involving a truck fire near your house?
Yes.
Ms. Boone, I'm going to ask you to scoot up just a little bit closer to that microphone or pull it a little closer. It'll slide. All right, very good. Thank you, ma'am.
And if you could please just tell us and the jury what you remember about that incident in particular.
My dog was barking out in the yard, and my granddaughter went out to see where he was barking at and came back and said there was a man in the yard, and I went out and I saw a guy walking down the road. He said his truck had burned and wanted me to call, and he gave me a number to call. He stayed in the road. He never came into the yard. He gave me a number to call to get somebody to come pick him up.
Okay, and did you make a phone call for him?
I did.
And were you able to reach anybody whenever you called?
I did call somebody. I think maybe it was his mom. I'm not for sure who it was, but I did call somebody and tell him where he was.
Okay. And then after that phone call, what did you observe in relation to either the truck or the individual that you saw?
After I made the phone call, he walked on down Connect Road towards the crossroads that goes to Milan. He walked on down that way, and I'm nosy, so I got in my car and I went down to Jim Boone Lane to see if really there was a truck burning down there, because I wouldn't have thought there'd been one down there. But when I turned on that road, there was a truck off in the ditch burning. The fire department had gotten there and were putting it out. But that was about all I know. And then I did call 911 from there.
Okay. And how far
It's at 1.25 because we have to get through today and tomorrow.
would you say that area on Jim Boone Lane where you saw the truck is from where you live?
Maybe about 4.
I can slow it down and then we can do this for 3 streams if you want. Just let me know. I can slow it back down with this software.
4 miles, 5 miles.
Okay. And do y'all own property on Jim Boone Lane?
Yes.
Okay. And was the truck there near your property?
It was on the road in the ditch. My husband has a cow pasture that was right over the ditch.
Okay. And so when you saw the truck, the fire department was already there putting it out?
Right, they had already gotten it out.
Okay. About how many miles would you say that area on Jim Boone Lane where the truck was is from downtown Milan?
Gosh. He was only a little piece off the road, so I'm not sure how far, maybe 15 miles, 20 miles.
And is that about the same, give or take, estimate for how far your home is from Milan?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you know anything unusual about Mr. Spires' appearance whenever you saw him that day?
Not really. He looked a little disheveled, but nothing, there was nothing that stuck out to me. But I stayed on the porch. I didn't go out into the yard where he was.
Okay. And did he
1 mile is 1.6 kilometers for people who are not in the United States.
in fact give you his name?
He did.
Okay. And so you mentioned that you called 911. At this time, Judge, I'd moved to publish Ms. Boone's 911 call from State's Exhibit 6, which has already been admitted.
All right, any objections, Rita?
No, sir.
All right, very well. Monitor's up. I can't see the jury's monitor. Is it on?
It is.
Okay,
Which this is just audio, so they don't technically need to see anything from.
very well. All right, I see you are in the system. All right, Ms. Pitts, you may proceed.
All right, and for the record, when you do open the 911 records file that's on this flash drive, State 6, the call that I'm about to publish begins with 16 underscore position 2, 2022, 1228, and the time of that call being 15:50:46.
Hi, this is Cam Boone. I just wanted to report there was a guy that walked by my house out on Connect Road, and he said his truck had burned up down Jim Boone Lane, and he just walked off and left it. The fire department has come and put it out. I guess somebody called and reported it. I don't know. Anyway, he was walking down Connect Road, and he didn't come in my yard, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's got a big thing, but anyway, he wanted to call somebody, so I tried to get his dad, and I couldn't. He gave me another number to call, and I called, and she said she'd check on him or whatever, but he didn't wait. He just kept walking down Connect Road. So I don't know. I know his truck is burned up down here on Jim Boone Lane.
Yes, ma'am. We're aware about the vehicle.
Okay.
You going somewhere, or do you?
I don't know where he was going. He had walked from down here at Jim Boone Lane and turned on Connect Road, and said he lived in Milan, but I don't know where. I don't know if he was planning on walking all the way.
Is it a white male or black male, ma'am?
That white male.
Did he give you your name?
Looked to be in his probably mid to late 20s.
Did he give you his name?
He said his first name was Brandon.
Brandon?
Oh, he said he was, what did you say, Sal Tom? Spires.
Brandon Spires. Okay, he's going towards Connect Road, walking back towards Milan.
That chirping ends real soon, don't worry.
He had come by, I live at 1889 Connect Road. He had already walked past my house, not going back towards 117, but going the other way, back towards the crossroads that goes to Workmore.
Did he need any kind of assistance, ma'am?
I don't know that he does. I mean, he was walking.
Okay.
I didn't know if anybody needed to check on him.
Yeah, we're aware of that.
The vehicle is down here. Adams is moving it now.
Yes, ma'am. We're familiar.
Okay.
Did he?
I didn't know whether y'all need to check on him or not.
Yes, ma'am. We'll get somebody to check the area, ma'am. They all tied up right now, but we'll let them know that he's walking. We hadn't heard anything from him, but we are with.
Right. I don't think he must not have had a phone because he had to borrow my husband's phone. My husband was down here on Jim Boone Lane.
Did he look injured or anything?
It didn't look like he was hurt, no. But the truck was in the ditch. I don't know what made it burn.
No, ma'am. We didn't get the call. We just know about it. But
Okay.
We appreciate the call. We have somebody to look out for him.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Okay, and so at the time that you made this call, pretty much everything had already happened, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you personally know Mr. Brandon Spires at that time?
No, I did not.
Okay. Now, we hear you talking to someone named Tom. Who is that in the
That's my husband.
Your husband?
Yes.
All right. And, excuse me, he was there and observed some of this as well?
They farm down, that's their farmland down that way, so I guess he was down there working and came up on the truck burning. So.
Okay. That's all the questions I have for Ms. Boone.
Ms. Riddle, cross.
I don't have any questions.
May this witness be excused.
She is, Your Honor. I asked that she be excused from her subpoena and be
All right,
free to
Ms.
go.
Boone, you are released from your subpoena. You are free to go. Go about your business. Thank you, ma'am. All right, who's next? Ms. Pitts?
I'll now call Tom Boone.
Mr. Tom Boone?
It's West Virginia, but I didn't say that. It's West Virginia.
Good morning, sir. All right, Ms. Pitts, you can swear him in and proceed.
All right, Mr. Boone, will you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And can you tell us your name and spell it for the court reporter?
Tom Boone, Tomboone.
Okay. And Mr. Boone, back on December the 28th of 2022, where were you living at that time?
Where was I what?
Where were you living?
On Cadet Road.
Okay. And were you married then?
Yes.
And what's your wife's name?
Cam Boone.
Okay. And so on that day that I mentioned, back in December of 2022, do you recall an incident where you saw a truck on fire?
I seen a truck on fire. I don't recall what day it was or nothing, you know.
Okay. Well, can you just tell us what you remember from your memory about that truck fire and what you did in relation to that?
Well, I started to the farm down there. It was in the ditch and it was on fire. And it got out over my pasture burning fence rows. And
Okay.
Look, I don't know what he said. I don't know everything he says, but he's freaking adorable. He's so adorable.
And while you were there, did you make a call to the fire department or somebody with the fire department?
I can't remember where I called him or my brother. Somebody said my brother called him. I don't know.
Okay. And who's your brother?
Sambo Boone.
Okay.
Did he
And
just say Daniel Boone? I don't know. I think his brother's name is Daniel Boone. Come on, that's amazing.
And does he also farm that area of Jim Boone Lane?
Yeah,
Or did he at
that's
the
a family
time?
farm back in there.
Okay. So do you know Mr. Terry Neal?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know Mr. Neal?
Well, he's the mayor of Jacksonville.
Okay. And does he also have some connection with the fire department?
Yeah, he has something to do with it. I don't know.
Okay. Fair to say. Did you see him out there during the fire?
Yeah, he come put out the fire.
Okay.
So what he just said was the mayor is a volunteer firefighter. So the mayor came out to put out the fire.
And now the individual that came from this truck, did you talk with him?
Who was that?
Did you talk to the man that you saw with the truck?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay. What do you remember about that?
I just loaned him my phone and called someone with it. That's all I remember.
Okay. Do you remember if the individual gave you his name?
Yes, it was Brandon Spires.
Okay. And you recall, did you or your wife call 911?
He said we did. She did. I don't remember, but said she
Okay.
did.
All right. And about how far from Milan would you say that that property on Jim Boone Lane is from like downtown Milan?
About, I'm gonna say 15 to 20 miles, somewhere along there. I don't know exactly.
Now, when they got the fire put out over there, did you see what happened to the truck next?
No, I left. I don't know what it. Sometime during the day, somebody got it.
Okay. Now, did you note anything unusual about Mr. Spires' appearance?
Not really.
Okay. That's all I have for this witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Riddle, cross.
No questions, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused.
He may.
Mr. Boone, you are released from your subpoena. You are free to go about your business, free to go. Thank you, sir.
I could
All right,
talk
who's
to
next,
that
Ms. Pitts?
man every day. I wish I could call him, but that wouldn't work.
Yes, Your Honor. Next, I will call Terry Neal.
All right.
I think this is the mayor right now. I think.
All right. Mr. Neal, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give today in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And if you will, please kind of get as close to that microphone as you can so that the jury can hear you. And if you will, please give us your name for the record and please spell it for the court reporter.
Wesley Terry Neal, W-S-L-E-Y, Terry
N-E-A-L,
And do you go by Wesley or Terry?
Terry.
Okay. Now, how are you employed, Mr. Neal?
I'm retired,
Okay. Where are you retired from?
American Low House Movers.
Okay. Do you hold any other sort of titles or positions?
I'm the mayor of Jacksonville.
Okay. Do you also have some role within the city?
What? 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 Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. You lie. You lie like a rat. What? Do you know Chris Hemsworth? Do you just call him? Hey, Chris, I got some chick flying in that wants to meet you. Brad, we all need to know.
City of Jacksonville in regard to the fire department there?
Volunteer fireman for 27 years.
Okay. And can you just tell us a little bit about the fire department there in Jacksonville? Like, how does it operate? Who heads that up? How that all works?
Well, it's strictly volunteer, fully volunteers, and it's local people in the community that devote their time and energy to helping keep the community safe.
Okay. And how long did you say that you'd been with the fire department?
27 years.
27 years. And how many fires would you say in your career that you've worked or responded to?
We run an average of a minimum of 50 calls a year, and we have run as many as 99 calls a year. So I have no idea how many that would be.
And has that number fluctuated, or that's pretty much the average that,
I would say you could say 70 is an average for all the years.
so if you've worked there 27 years and you've worked an average of 70 fires per year in those 27 years, you would have worked.
My whole life just changed, guys. All of our lives just changed. All of ours. So now our chances of meeting Chris are not zero. They're like 0.00000000001% right now. There's a room of possibility that one day we could just go face to face. I know it's never going to happen, but it's no longer zero. Whew. Whew. I'm going to strut around all day today.
1,890 fires.
If you say so.
I'm not good at math, so I had to use my calculator, but does that sound about right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And tell us how, even though it is a volunteer fire department, how does one, is there some training and things like that you have to do in order to work at the fire department?
There's a mandatory 60-hour class that you have to take in order to become a certified fireman. And then once you...
Friend, think about it like this. What if he needs a kidney or he's going to die? Right? And he can't find a donor that matches. He's going to ask friends and family to go get checked. Get me a kidney or I'll die. So it's possible. It's possible. See, that just became the 0.1%.
Take a 60-hour course. Every year you have to have 24 hours of yearly training to maintain your certification.
Okay. So would you say 27 years ago you took the initial course, the 60-hour course you were referring to?
1998.
In 1998. And then every year since that year, you've had to do at least 24 hours of training and education?
Yes.
Okay. And now, are you the fire chief of Jacksonville Fire Department?
No, I'm just an engineer with the fire department.
Okay. Is there a fire chief there?
Stephen Dobson.
Okay. Now, when you respond, or let me back up. What types of fires have you responded to over the years?
Grass fires, vehicle fires, structure fires, airplane crash, wood pellet down in Lumber City, just about anything you can think of.
Okay, and have some of those fires that you have responded to in your career, have they been intentionally set?
Some of them, yes.
Okay. Now, as someone responsible for responding and managing these fires, do you have to do some kind of documentation after you respond to a fire?
Yes, we have to fill out a report, and it is actually entered into a statewide database.
Okay, and do you do that for every fire?
Every run that we make, we have to fill out a report.
Okay, and in that documentation, do you have to make determinations about the fire?
No, it's not our purview to determine what caused it. We just go and try to put it out and stop it from causing any more damage.
Okay, I guess what I mean, in your report, the reporting system that you guys have, are there sections of that report where you can put in contributing factors and things like that? And if you need to refer to your report, I can.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
He's charged with arson and murder. Aggravated murder, I think.
May I approach her?
You may.
I want you to have a look at that, look it over, and tell me when you believe you've had sufficient time to familiarize yourself with it.
I think actually he has 8 counts. 3 of them I think are the murder. And I know one of them is arson. I don't know what the other ones are.
And I want to specifically draw your attention to page 4.
Okay.
Okay, so is this document the report that you were just referring to earlier that you have to do with every fire?
Well, this is a computer replica of the report we do in handwriting, and then the fire chief usually responds to the state with this report, but this is not the one I wrote, but it's taken from my report.
Okay, so your report, is it fair to say your report corresponds to these things that are in here?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, and in this, there are spaces for how a fire is ignited, the cause of ignition, and factors contributing to ignition. Do you see that in the report?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to, I think that, sorry, in order to refresh his memory, I think properly he should look over the document and then put the document away and answer questions.
Ms. Pitts? You have a response to that objection?
Yes, and Judge, I guess maybe to be clear, I'm not asking him at this time to tell me what's on the report, just about the report itself and how that report is taken down.
I'm going to renew the objection because he clearly stated he did not generate that report. It's not his report. And to look at it and then basically regurgitate information off of it would really be asking him to regurgitate hearsay. And it's not proper to refresh one's memory by letting him read it and then answer questions while you're reading it.
I'm going to overrule it at this time. Ms. Pitts, you may proceed.
Okay. Do you remember the question that I asked?
No.
I don't either. So let me just rephrase. Now, after looking at page 4 and looking that over, I know that you said, you do like a handwritten report. That report is generated into the computer system.
Right.
Does your handwritten report have information about what you observe as the cause of the fire?
I would say that my first impression when I arrived on the scene.
Okay, and I want to stop you there. I'm not asking you about this fire yet.
Okay.
I'm just asking in general.
Yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time, I've moved to tender Mr. Neal as an expert witness in fire response management and analysis.
Ms. Riedel, do you have any questions for Mr. Neal or Wadir of Mr. Neal? You may proceed.
I have one there. Mr. Neal.
Push the button.
Sorry. Mr. Neal, tell me about your training in like reconstruction or let me back up. Tell me about your training in determining the cause of a fire. It's
mostly experience. That's
Okay.
what you observe when you arrive on the scene. I've never been trained as an arson expert.
Okay. Your Honor, I would ask the court that he should not be qualified as an expert in that he has no training in this.
Ms. Pitts?
Yes, Your Honor. Under Patel versus State and various case law, it is quite clear under Georgia law that one does not have to have a formal education in order to be qualified as an expert witness. What is required by the law is that the person has more experience, more information than a layperson. Mr. Neal has worked over 1,000 fires. I would wager to bet no one else in this courtroom has the experience that Mr. Neal has in responding and analyzing fires. He has had training every single year for 27 years in dealing with fires. And the formal education is not necessary for that. As long as the witness possesses qualifications of expertise through skill and experience under the law, he can be termed an expert.
All right, well, I have Rule 702 right here in front of me, and the court will overrule the objections for the reasons stated by Ms. Pitts, and 702B is the applicable statute or part of the rule, and the court does make the finding, as Mr. Neal stated, and will admit him as an expert based upon his knowledge, skill, experience, training, and education. And that the court does specifically find that his experience will be of some assistance to the trier of fact. So your objection is overruled. You may proceed, Ms. Pitts.
Okay, Mr. Neal, now I want to turn your attention to December 28th of 2022. Did you respond to a fire out on Jim Boone Lane on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you just tell the jury, when you respond to a fire, what sort of communications do you make before you get to a fire?
Most of the time, we'll page it out by 911.
Okay.
But in this particular instance, I had a phone call from a person that was on the scene that they were concerned about the fire getting in their hayfield.
Okay. And do you recall who that person was that made a call to you personally?
Charles Boone, who's better known as Sambo Boone.
Sambo Boone. Okay. And were you pretty familiar with Mr. Boone?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Judge, at this time, I'd move to publish some of the 911 traffic from the fire that has already been admitted into evidence on State's Exhibit 6.
Very well, you may proceed.
And for the record, the first call that I'm going to play from State's Exhibit 6 with Mr. Neal is going to start with 33 underscore, sorry, oh, I lost it. Telfair underscore FD 2022-12/28-14/15/2022. And before I publish it, Mr. Neal, are you familiar with military time?
Yes.
Okay. And
Okay, we've seen this judge quite often, right? I always assumed, just by his demeanor and everything, he was in the military. I believe I'm wrong, and you tell me. Hold on, we're going to find out in a second.
14:15, what time of the day would that be?
2:15.
Okay. Am I still hooked up, Judge?
I know it doesn't recognize you yet. You might have to
Oh, I didn't plug it back in.
plug it back in
I'm sorry.
if you hadn't already.
Too many cords.
Okay, maybe I cut it out by accident. The judge just turned to him and said, "Did you say 2:15?" So the judge was asking him to translate military time. That's not something, if you were in the military, you forget, right? You don't just forget that. That's like ingrained in you forever, isn't it?
There you go. Got it. All right, you may proceed.
Oh my God, Boone Farm wine. No, no more. No.
One. En route to a brush fire on Jim Boone Road. 10-4.
I'm next going to publish the file that starts with the number 28.
911. Go ahead, Jack. I've been advised this is a vehicle fire. You advised it's going to be a vehicle fire? 10-4.
Okay, and at some point during your response to this fire, did other fire personnel also respond?
Towards the end of the event, Kenny Holt, who's a fireman from Horse Creek Fire Department, heard our transaction on the radio, and he came up to help me.
Okay, and So how far away is Horse Creek Fire Department from where this area was?
25 miles,
Okay. And how far away would you say Jacksonville Fire Department is from this area?
roughly about 4 miles.
Okay. I'm going to publish the 911 call that begins with 20, Telfair FD.
Go ahead.
The nearest address on this vehicle fire is going to be right past 37 Jim Boone Lane. Right past 37 Jim Boone Lane.
10-4, be advised, Adams is en route.
10-4, they just called me and they were going to advise y'all that their rollback is out of town, headed somewhere else. So they're going to call back and advise y'all of that.
10-4.
I'll be standing by on scene.
10-4.
Okay, and the last 911 call I'm going to play from State's Exhibit 6 is 19, Telfair FD.
Go ahead, H21.
I just got off the phone with Adams again. Their rollback is going to be headed down here in just a little bit to pick this vehicle up. They advised I have to remain on the scene, so I just be clear out that in my station.
10-4.
Okay, so now that we've listened to that and kind of talked generally about your duties in the fire department and whatnot, can you tell us what, after you got that phone call, what was your response to the fire and what did you observe when you got there?
Well, when I arrived on the scene, I noticed a pickup in the road, and it was pretty much engulfed in fire. And I parked the engine and cranked the pump up. Sambo Boone grabbed the hose and started stopping the fire from getting out into the pasture, which was adjacent to the road. And then he turned his attention to the truck and tried to put it out.
Did you see anyone in the truck or near the truck?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And were y'all able to get the fire put out on the truck?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell us anything else that you observed personally about the vehicle?
It mainly involved the passenger cab of the truck, which led me to believe that it was not caused by the engine. Normally, if an engine malfunctions, most of the damage is under the hood or in the front of the truck, but most of this damage was in the passenger part of the truck, where the driver is.
Okay. And were you able to note, when you were looking at the truck or in the vicinity of the truck, any accelerant, like gasoline or other items that might start a fire?
I just noticed a gas can in the back of the truck laying down.
Okay. Now, after the fire was put out, and we heard a little bit on the 911 traffic there, what happened to the truck from that point?
I would assume they removed it from the road because of the traffic, but I loaded the hoses up and I left.
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
I said I loaded the hoses back on the fire truck and I left, so I don't really know what happened after I left.
Okay. So you left. Did Mr. Kenny Holt stay with the truck after you left?
He stayed in the truck.
Okay. May I approach?
May.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 9 and 10.
Snoopy.
Are you familiar with those items?
Yes, this is the truck that we went to put out.
Okay, so State's 9,
Kelly, it's a paper bag. Afterwards, I have to give it to my cat. I don't get to keep it.
specifically State's 9, that is the entire truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And does that accurately reflect the truck that you saw after the fire was put out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd move to admit State's 9 at this time.
No objection.
Admitted without objection.
All right, now I want to turn your attention to State's 10. That photograph, is it a particular area of the truck?
Yes.
Okay, and what, can you describe what that is?
It was some items that was in the back of the truck, as well as a gas can that was laying on the side in the back of the truck.
Okay, and does that accurately reflect what you saw in the back of the truck that afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd move to admit State's 10.
No objection.
Admitted without objection.
My apologies.
Let me see him first. Very well.
Tomorrow we're going to see the prosecutor destroy the defendant. Just destroy him.
All right, so based on your training and experience in fires, what indications, or did you find indications in this case that this fire was intentionally set?
My personal belief, yes, because the engine compartment, which is usually when an engine malfunctions and sets a vehicle on fire, most of the damage is confined to the front of the truck. Here it was to the passenger in the rear of the truck, which leads me to believe personally that it was set.
I don't have any further questions at this time.
Ms. Riddle, cross-examination.
Yes, Hi, Mr. Neal.
Hey.
I don't think I've introduced myself. I'm Sarah Riedel, and I represent Mr. Spires. Now, you stated that you really haven't had any, I mean, other than your experience, you haven't had any training in arson or accelerants in fire, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think your words were that usually this is what happens, that usually the front part of the car, of the vehicle where the motor is, that part would be burned, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to, if I can get State's Exhibit 10, when the jury has finished looking at that, I want to call your attention to something.
I've only set one car on fire
State's
before.
Exhibit 10.
Who can beat me? I've set one car where a fire department had to come out and put the fire out. Who has done more than that?
That you already looked at. In the back of that truck, there is a gas can, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then or gas, whatever you call it, I guess it's not really a can anymore, is it? It's plastic. But next to that is a chainsaw. Can you kind of make out where the chainsaw is?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you did not check to see, I mean, you didn't do any kind of studies on this to see if any accelerant was put into the cab of the vehicle or anything like that, did you?
Ma'am.
You just because you've had some experience is kind of what you thought
Yes,
at the
ma'am.
time. Okay, but no tests were ever run to the best of your knowledge.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And I believe you said, and you may have, you said that the truck was in the road. Was the truck actually in the road, or was it actually kind of in the ditch?
Well, it was actually half and half. It was over in the side of the road, and part of it was in the ditch.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused.
Yes, I would ask that he be excused.
All right, Mr. Neal, you are released from your
Great job, defense attorney. There's no way he did it, guys.
subpoena. You are free to go about your business. Thank you, sir. You can leave those photographs right there. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I don't think the jury for a little bit, I'm going to return those.
You may return them to the jury.
I love when people show the same judges that I show. I think everybody should see them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bump this forward. I thought I cut everything out, but I guess I missed some.
Okay.
There we go.
Now I want to draw your attention to the date, December 28th, 2022. At that time, were you working full-time with the sheriff's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you recall responding to a request for law enforcement at Mount Zion Street in Milan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What can you tell us about what you observed when you came on scene to that location?
I responded, I believe I was the third deputy there at the time, and we got there and there was a white male subject laying on the ground unresponsive at the time of arrival.
Okay. Did you see anyone else other than law enforcement and the deceased at the scene?
Not that I recall, nothing that stood out.
And now I want to jump. Did you also respond to another call shortly after that to the area of Connect Road and Jim Boone Lane?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. And can you just describe the nature of that call and what you recall whenever you came upon that scene?
I believe his name's Brandon Merritt. I believe he was a captain at the time. He sent me out to Jim Boone Lane in reference to a vehicle that had been seen that was burning on fire. We get out there to the vehicle and see where it was stuck into the ditch. It had turned down the dirt road and hit the ditch on the left side of the road, and it had been completely burned at that point. I believe the fire was already out. The fire department had already put it out at that time. So shortly after that, I get another call, and I'm told that there's a white male subject walking down the road on Connect Road, and it's about within 4 or 5 mile difference of those two locations. So I responded to that location along with Deputy Josh Spires, and we located a subject walking down the highway on Connect Road.
Okay. And as part of law enforcement response, do you correspond with dispatch at 911?
I do.
Okay. And did you do so on this occasion?
I did.
Judge, at this time, I'm going to move to publish from State's Exhibit 6 again, the 911 calls. I'm going to publish 2 calls with Mr. Rothwell. The first one I'm going to play or publish for the jury is titled 12_Telfair SO 12/28/2022 160847. And I'm not sure, am I still on there?
Yes.
Okay.
It still sees you. Go ahead.
Still here on the left side of the road walking. Gonna be getting out with him at Friendship and Connect, it looks like. This is gonna be him. 11, you advise it is him?
That's a great question, V. It's a great question. The reason why it's a great question is because they're blaming the murder on mental health issues and substance abuse. But I don't know if he was drunk or high that night. I don't know.
Careful. I'm around to you. I'm 5 minutes, miles away. You out with him?
Okay. Before I publish the next one, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So we just heard this 911 traffic about the white male subject on Connect Road. You observed him. What did you do next whenever you observed him?
Whenever I was driving down Connect Road, I come up on him. He was on the left side. I was heading towards Workmore Island Road on Connect. And at that time, I got out with him. We was talking. It was all voluntarily. And just asking him what happened, how he got where he was at. And at that time, Deputy Spires had checked him for any weapons or anything. And shortly after that, I was told to detain him. So we put him in handcuffs and placed him in the back of a patrol car.
Okay, so you had some interaction with this individual?
Yes.
Okay, and did you recognize him?
Yes.
Do you know Brandon Spires?
I do.
Okay. And do you see him here in the courtroom?
I do. He's sitting in the blue striped shirt.
Let the record to reflect he's identified the defendant. Okay, and so now I'm going to play that second call from 911. It begins with 09 Telfair SO 2022 12/28 16/13/20.
The 10-8, subject we getting transported to the Don County Jail. I'm at Delaware County Jail.
Careful.
Okay, about how far would you say it is from the area where you saw Brandon Spires walking and where, and the scene on Mount Zion Street?
Ooh, I'd say 15 miles.
Okay. And so during your response to this call, were you wearing body cam?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you just tell the jury how your body cam works, or it worked at the time?
So the body cams that we was assigned, they strap to your chest or your vest, and then it had a button on the front of it that you would mash to activate it, and the same thing to deactivate it to stop recording. Generally what would happen, when you get out of the car, we would always click it prior to getting out, so it would catch everything from the time you get out of your car until the time you're done with everything you got to do with it.
Okay. And so you said you were wearing body cam on this occasion,
Yes, ma'am.
and you've reviewed that before coming into court today?
Yes, ma'am.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Okay. I'm going to show you the card of the United States. Are you able to recognize that item?
Yes, ma'am. I initialed the USB drive myself.
And what does that indicate?
That I reviewed the video, and that it is the video from my body cam that I was wearing at the time.
And does it accurately reflect the body cam that you were wearing that day?
It does.
Well, we've already admitted it, but I think it's published what I'll label it
Absolutely,
as and see.
absolutely.
Anything, objection, Ms. Riedel?
No, sir.
Admit it without objection, you may publish. Is your screen on?
Yes, sir.
And I don't know, if, for the record, you want to put this, I play these files from Windows Media Player, if that should come up.
Temple. What's going on?
Rick out there on
I got you.
Burton Road out there.
Why don't you call us?
I've tried, man. Use the phone.
You ain't got a phone on you?
I ain't got their phone on me. I ain't got no phone on me.
I got you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You go ahead. No guns, nothing like that?
No, sir. No, sir. I don't. I've had guns stolen. I don't own another gun.
Hello? What kind of gun did you have stolen?
Stolen? I had a, what was it, a 32 and a 12 gauge.
I got you.
She did though. I've been having a lot of problems.
Do it now.
Where's your mileage, bunch of thieves? I remember. Where's your clear?
Hello?
Get clean. Yes, sir.
Can y'all hear me? Connect Road, just south of United Methodist Church.
30 now, but I'm just saying, like, it's still like a, you know, it always have murders. I mean, that's like stopping cigarettes. You always have to feel it. You just got to work fast. Sick, we're sick because
Yeah, he's here. He ain't got nothing on him. He said he had a gun stolen. The first thing he said. I asked him, I said, you got any guns on you? He said, no, I had 2 stolen.
Oh, you got a lighter?
I don't, I was looking to see if he might have tossed the gun because he seen us when we topped the hill and he looked at me.
Oh, I tried one day to stop.
Yeah, tell him we're 10-4. I can't talk on my portable.
No. All right, hey, we can one door.
All right, Brandon, put your hands behind your back for right now, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're not under arrest, but you are being detained for investigative detention, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Be very respectful. Sorry about that.
No, you good. I'm gonna double lock these so they don't clamp your hand.
I will not on the day. I won't do that. I say that man, he might be big, but he like Flash. He can run.
We went to school together. He knows me.
I ain't got a reason to run, bro.
You can walk right here and his is a lot newer and comfortable.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go to the jail, okay?
All right. Anybody got no lighter between here and there?
No, what all you got in your pocket? If you want to, turn your back that way so it won't be sitting on your hands.
How did y'all know I was on Connect Road?
Thank God. Somebody called, said they seen somebody walking. We just make sure you wasn't hurt or nothing.
Thank God. Y'all found me.
Hello? Nope, it's on, you know the house we went to and searched that time to do on probation, the first house on the left? On Jim Boone Lane, you turn, and it's the first house on your left. All right, I can't, you can't see nothing on it. No, I think the fire department, he talked to them or something and told them it was his.
Hey, let me go on.
Yeah, it's burnt. We couldn't see nothing. You good?
I didn't know.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Jacob right quick and give him his phone.
I'm just confused because I thought that lady, the first lady that we saw in the stand, I thought she said it was night. Oh wait, no, they said it was 2 o'clock. Wasn't? It's fine. I thought it was nighttime and it's dark. I mean, it's light in the video.
Get my car back and I'll meet you at the jail. If you want to follow me, just take your time. I'll catch up with you.
Okay. Now, from the area that we see you on here, how far away was the truck that you observed?
I didn't measure, but I'm going to say around 5 miles, give or take.
Okay, and had you seen that before you saw Brandon on the road?
Have I seen the truck?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in the video, we see you detain Brandon Spires. Can you explain for the jury why it is that you did that and what that means?
So, like I said earlier, we had responded to an unresponsive mail. I had previously left that location, but during that time frame, my captain, I believe he was a captain at the time, it was Lieutenant or Captain, Brandon Merritt, called me. That's who I was on the phone with, and he had told me to go ahead and detain him. So at that time, it was believed that he was going to be a suspect and needed to be talking to.
Was there, now I know we heard a few statements that he made to you in this recording. Did he make any other statements to you during your interaction?
Only what was recorded.
Was there anything notable to you about Brandon's demeanor while you were interacting with him?
No, I've dealt with him. I've known him. We grew up together off and on through school. So, I mean, he appeared to be fine at the time. He was kind of jumpy as far as how he got where he was at, but that, given the situation, it could have been understandable.
Okay. And did he say anything to you about wrecking his truck?
Yes, he said he had wrecked it. I believe I don't want to say what he said because I can't recall what he said as far as how he wrecked it. He just said it had wrecked and caught on fire and then he left walking. Did
he say anything to you about getting in an altercation earlier that day with Joshua Ford?
Not that I recall.
Okay. Did he say anything to you about having to use self-defense?
Not that I recall, no.
Okay. One minute, Judge. All right. Briefly, you mentioned earlier, testified that you at this time were an evidence custodian for the sheriff's office.
I believe so, yes.
And as part of that, did you receive some items of evidence back from the GBI in this case?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and do you recall what those items were?
I don't recall off the top of my head. They was inside of a brown paper bag when I received them back from the GBI.
Okay, and so can you just kind of explain to us how that process works when you get evidence and what you do with it?
So there's several different ways. Sometimes there's a case number issued by the sheriff's office, and when we assign evidence, it's issued under that case number. And then when we receive it back from the crime lab, it is still assigned to the same case number for our agency, and it will go back into the bin where the rest of the evidence was. In this specific case, there was not a Telfair SO case number due to it being turned over to GBI, and therefore when the evidence was received back from them, I turned it over to the investigator at the time that was handling that evidence, which was Ron Bowden, and he that's where it was turned over to.
Okay, and that item was kept somewhere where do y'all keep these items at?
So there is several spots that's locked behind two locks at the sheriff's office is where we store evidence, and this specific item was stored inside of a closet inside of the investigator's office that is used to store evidence. It's behind three separate locks if you count the door going into the office.
And as far as you know, up until that item was retrieved for court purposes, that is where it has remained?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's all the questions I have for this witness this time.
Cross-examination.
Good afternoon. All right, morning.
Morning, how are you?
I
You stated, or you had put Mr. Spires, you had detained him.
Yes, ma'am.
On the body cam, what we heard, you didn't tell him why you had detained him.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever tell him why on the way to the jail?
No, ma'am, I didn't talk. We didn't transport him to the jail. That would have been Deputy Spires that transported him. But generally, whenever there's an investigation going on, acting as a deputy at that time frame, you don't really talk. You let the investigators handle that, so that because you don't know the full extent of the investigation at that time. So it's more so you just do as they ask and let them handle the rest.
Yes, sir. I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Pitts?
No, Your Honor, I ask this witness be excused from his subpoena.
All right, Special Agent Rothwell, you are excused, released from your subpoena, and you're free to go about your business. Thank you, sir. All right, who's next, Ms. Pitts?
I'd call Josh Spires.
All right, Deputy Spires.
Okay. Judge, I do think Deputy Spires has been battling a little bit of illness this morning, so he's coming from downstairs.
Okay. All right, Ms. Pitts, you swear him in and proceed.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, can you state your name for the record and spell it for the court reporter?
It'll be Joshua Spires, Joshua-Spires.
Okay, and where are you employed, Mr. Spires?
I'm currently employed with the Wheeler County Sheriff's Office
Okay, how long have you been at Wheeler County?
for almost a year and a half now.
Where were you at before you were at Wheeler County?
McRae Hill Police Department.
Okay. And at some point in your law enforcement career, did you work at Telfair County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, when was that?
I started in 2017. It's been on and off till about 2023.
Okay. And can you tell us, what is your total number of years in law enforcement?
Right now, I should be at 9 years and some odd months. I'm almost 10 years.
All right. On December the 28th of 2022, were you working with Telfair County Sheriff's Office then?
Yes, ma'am.
What the hell? She just said December. Was she faking it all those other times?
Okay. And you recall responding to a request for aid or law enforcement at Mount Zion Street in Milan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What can you tell us about what you observed on that scene?
When I arrived on scene, there was a white male
He's answering to the jury. He's looking directly at the jury.
identified as Josh Ford, was laying on the ground and bleeding. He was unresponsive.
Okay. And when you got there, other than law enforcement and the deceased, did you see anyone else?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you see?
I can't recall their names.
Did you see a female subject?
There was 2 females.
Okay. Do you recall if one of them had some relation to the victim that was laying in the street?
I believe I talked to his girlfriend.
Okay. All right. And other than that, did you have any other role at the scene there on Mount Zion Street?
I got there, that woman's name and date of birth, and it wasn't soon later I left that scene.
Okay. And did you assist in securing the scene?
Yes, I went to my vehicle to find some evidence tape to block off the area to preserve evidence, and Captain Bowden, I believe it was, had found some evidence tape and we started marking off the scene.
Okay. And did you later in time on that same day respond to a person out on Connect Road in reference to a truck fire on Jim Boone Lane?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what can you tell us about that, your response on that occasion?
Right after the incident with the call in Milan, we got called to a vehicle fire out on Jim Boone Lane. When I got there, the fire department had done put out the fire, and after which we had got a call to somebody walking down Connect Road.
Okay. And how far would you estimate that Connect Road is from the fire?
A couple of miles.
Okay. And so then did you make contact with the individual walking on Connect Road?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you recognize that person?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And who was that person?
Brandon Spires.
All right. And were you familiar with Mr. Spires before that occasion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And whenever you saw Mr. Spires, can you describe for us just what his demeanor was during your interaction with him on the roadside?
He told us that he was glad that he found us, and we had asked him about the truck, and he said his truck caught fire. He didn't have a phone.
Okay. And, did he appear to be scared or anything when you saw him?
He did appear to be flustered, yes.
Flustered. Okay. And did he make any comments to you about, having to shoot anybody earlier that day?
Not that I recall at that time.
Okay. Did he say anything to you about being attacked by an individual earlier that day?
Not that I recall.
Okay. Now, at some point during the interaction with Brandon on the roadside, he was detained and placed in your vehicle. Did you transport Brandon somewhere?
I transported him to the Telfair County Jail.
Okay. During the course of your transport of Brandon Spires, did y'all have any, did he make any statements to you?
Me and him did talk about family because both of us are Spires, and he had asked who my father was.
Okay. Did you talk to him in any way about him being a suspect in a case or anything of that nature?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Why is that? Why didn't you talk to him about that?
I know that the GBI had been notified and was on scene. I did not want to mess up the case at all. I was going to let him talk to the GBI.
That's all the questions I have at this time.
Ms. Riddle,
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
may this witness be excused.
I ask to be excused from his subpoena.
All right, Deputy Spires, you are excused, ready to go about your business. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All the necessary parties are present. We're back on the record. Ms. Pitts, call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor, the state calls Donna Owens.
You can swear her in and proceed.
All right, Ms. Owens, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give today in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Please state your name for the record and then spell it for the court reporter.
Okay, it's Donna Owens. Spell it.
Spell it, please.
It's DonnaOwens.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Owens, where were you living back in December of 2022?
In Milan.
Okay. Whereabouts in Milan? You know, like a street name or?
It was over around the bait shop.
Around the what? Bait?
Bait shop.
Okay. And I just want to make sure I heard you right. Bait, B-A-I-T, like fish bait?
Correct.
All right. And how long had you lived there in that location?
Just say maybe a little over a year, 2 years maybe.
May I approach?
You may.
I'm going to show you what's already been marked as State's Exhibit 1. Are you familiar with the person in that photograph?
Yes.
Okay, and who is that?
That's Joshua Fort.
Okay, and how did you know Joshua Fort?
He was my boyfriend.
Okay, about how long had y'all been in a relationship?
So this is the girlfriend of the deceased, I think, and then tomorrow will be the girlfriend of the alleged murderer.
Maybe a little over 3 years.
Okay, and did you know Brandon Spires?
Yes.
Okay, how did you know Brandon Spires?
Well, I knew his mom and dad. I went to school with his daddy.
And did you ever see him around Milan?
Yes.
Okay. Now, back on December 28th of 2022, how did you learn about Joshua being shot?
I had 2 friends to come by and get me.
Okay.
And carry me around there.
Okay. So, someone told you about it and then you came up to the scene?
Yes.
All right. That location there where Joshua was at, on Mount Zion Street, can you tell us a little bit about what that area was to Joshua?
That's like his little work spot. He had lawnmowers and stuff up there that he would work on.
Okay. And how often would you say that he was up there at that workshop?
Just about every day.
Okay. Was that his main source of income?
Mostly, yes ma'am.
Now, that area at the workshop there, can you kind of describe for us the door system there when you first come up to it?
Yeah, he had like a temporary door made out of like tin, but you could just slide it. He put wheels on it and you can just slide it back and forth.
Okay. And whenever he was in that location, did he normally have the door open, the door closed?
Closed.
Okay. And what was Joshua's main mode of transportation?
his bicycle.
Okay. Can you describe for us his bicycle with the features of it and all?
Just had big wheels. He would have like a little wagon on the back of it.
Okay. Pretty distinct looking bicycle?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to take you back. When you came up to the scene there, and your friend brought you up there, what is it that you saw and observed?
Well, there's just a lot of people up there, and I just, saw Josh laying up there on the sidewalk.
Okay. At that time, were you aware of anybody that wished harm on Joshua?
No, ma'am.
Okay. When you heard that this happened, what kind of thoughts were going through your mind about how this would have happened?
I just had an idea that Brandon had done it. That's just, it's what my gut said. I knew they had, a few problems, like in the past, that I didn't know it would be anything like this.
Okay. So, you're aware, you said of some things happened in the past between the two of them. What specifically can you tell us about that you remember over the years that you dated Joshua with regard to his troubles with Brandon?
He's never really had even said anything about Brandon, around me.
Mm-hmm. But you were aware that they had some altercations. What can you tell us about those?
I know one time he tried to run over Josh with his bicycle. Josh was on his bicycle, and Brandon tried to basically run over him.
Whenever that happened, what was Brandon in?
His truck.
Okay. Did Josh get injured during that?
No, ma'am.
Were you familiar at the time with what kind of truck Brandon drove?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what that was?
Just a white pickup.
Okay. Was there anything about the pickup that you would normally notice about it?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, do you recall about a time frame of when this incident was where Brandon tried to run Josh over?
Maybe about a week apart.
A week before the shooting?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember any other occasions where you observed Brandon in his truck around the time frame?
Yes, he was at a house kind of close to where I was staying at. I don't know, he was parked in front of it with his lights off. We heard gunshots, and then I saw, me and a couple others saw him pull off from that house.
Okay. So you said you saw him fire off a couple of shots in front of that?
We heard.
You heard him, okay. Now, that day that Josh got shot, did you see him earlier that morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you recall about the length of time between when you last saw him before you saw him on the side of the road?
Probably around 9, between 8 and 9 that morning.
And what was your understanding of where he was going and what he was doing?
He was going up to his little place, to work.
Okay. Did you ever know Joshua Fort to have any guns?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So in the 3 years that you dated him, did you ever see Joshua Fort with a gun?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you ever know him to make any threats to kill Brandon Spires?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did Josh ever express any sort of fears to you that Brandon would kill him?
Yes, the night before he got shot, he had an idea that he was going to die, and that was the reason he didn't get me up that morning to go to work, because he just knew something was going to happen to him.
Okay. And did you normally go to work with Josh?
Yes.
Up there at the shop? Okay. Now, do you remember on that day, whenever you came up there to the scene, do you remember speaking to any law enforcement people?
Skylar, the investigator.
Okay. An investigator with the GBI? Okay. And when you were talking with him, did you tell him about these two instances that you just told us about?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you know other people who have expressed information to you about Brandon wanting to kill Josh?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to anything that would include hearsay.
Response to that, Ms. Pitt?
I can rephrase.
All right.
Or I'll just withdraw that question. Do you know Renata Cochran?
Yes.
Thank you for the tears, Monica. Thank you, thank you.
Do you know Justin Floyd?
Yes.
How do you know them?
They're friends of mine.
Okay. And at the time that all this happened, were they living in Milan?
Yes.
Okay. And did you know them to be associates of Brandon's?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall when the last time, before the shooting happened, the last time that you saw Brandon Spires?
I think it's Christmas Day.
Okay, you saw him on Christmas Day. What were the circumstances that you saw him?
I just went up to where Josh was working at, and that's where I saw him at last.
Okay, did you have any conversation with him on that occasion?
I think maybe I spoke to him, but that was it.
Okay. Now, sometime during your conversation with Agent Reese, Agent Schuyler, did you gain some information about Brandon's truck?
Yes,
Okay, and did you provide that information to Agent Reese?
I did.
Okay. Just give me 1 second, Judge. Are you aware of an incident involving Josh and Brandon where Brandon put a gun to Josh's head?
No.
Okay. Are you aware of any instances that we haven't already talked about involving a firearm with Brandon and Josh?
No, ma'am.
Other than the one you mentioned earlier? Okay. That's all I have for this witness at this time.
Ms. Reed?
Good morning, Ms. Owens.
Hey,
I'm
morning.
Sarah Beadle, and I represent Mr. Spires. Ms. Owens, you did not see this incident in which you said that Brandon allegedly tried to run over Josh. You were not a witness to that, were you?
No, ma'am.
That was from what Mr. Fort told you, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Fort did not tell you the morning of that he thought Brandon was going to kill him that day, did he?
No.
Okay. I don't have anything
That would
further,
have
thank
made it
you.
easier.
May this witness be excused.
Judge, I asked that she be
Did I?
excused but remain on standby.
All right, Ms. Owens, I'm going to allow you to step down at this time, but you are not released, so do not leave until directed by the court. You understand? All right, very good. All right, who's next? Ms. Pitts?
My next witness is going to be Agent Beth Cootie with the crime scene. If you could give me about 5 minutes to gather her and a good deal of exhibits.
She's present.
Yeah, she's here.
All right,
And I've already got her started putting the stickers on, but
that's good.
it might take us a few minutes to write some numbers on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it'll take a minute to get this next witness ready, so I'm going to ask you to step back as directed for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, and if you will, please state your name for the record and spell it for the court reporter.
It's Joshua Ballard, Joshua
Okay, and how are you employed, Mr. Ballard?
I'm employed as a special agent with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, currently at the cold case unit.
Okay, so now at this point, I had already cut out some of his earlier testimony, I think, and all of the Georgia Bureau of Investigators, all of them, because they were really boring. I couldn't even pay attention. I tried. So they're going to say things like, as you testified before, blah, blah, blah. I think when she talks to him, you didn't miss anything. And I will put it in the members only area.
Dr. DeMarco, how are you employed?
I'm currently an associate medical examiner at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation within the medical examiner's office.
Okay, and how long have you worked there?
I've worked there for coming up on 5 years now.
Okay. Can you tell the jury about your training and experience as a medical examiner?
Of course.
Now, and then what about 90?
90 is one of our standard photographs that we take. This is something we call the quote-unquote ID photograph. So it's essentially just a close-up photograph of our patient's face.
Okay. During the course of your autopsy of Mr. Fort, did you denote injuries to his body?
Yes, I did.
Can you walk us through the injuries generally that you found during the course of your autopsy?
Yes, of course. So there were a total of 8 gunshot wounds to Mr. Fort.
I think there are more seats. So the deceased family is here. They're all sitting back there. Now the prosecutor might have told them don't come today, or don't come for this part, or go get us a drink or something so you don't have to listen and see this. But I think a lot of them did stay to listen.
Body. The first of which was a gunshot wound of the head, and I say first just because I'm describing it first. I don't know which gunshot wound happened first, just my first description. So there was a gunshot wound of the head that entered the nose and then went into the cranial cavity, or the cavity where your brain lives, and there was a projectile in that region with some blood and a bruise of the brain associated with it. Then there were a total of 5 gunshot wounds to the right lower extremity, or the right leg. There were 5 entrances in various aspects of the leg, a couple towards the front of the leg, and then the other 3 towards
towards the back of the leg on the thigh. And those 5 gunshot wounds caused injury and bleeding to the muscle and fatty tissues that live in the thigh. And there were 2 exit wounds associated. So 2 of those 5 bullets exited the body, and then 3 of those bullets remained within the body and were recovered from the right thigh and the right knee. One of the bullets was in the bone of the right knee, or the femoral bone. Then in addition to that, there was something called a graze wound. So sometimes the bullets won't enter the body completely. They'll just kind of skim across the skin in their path. And that was one of the gunshot wounds as well. And it was to the right side of the pelvis. And then the last gunshot wound was to the left leg. It was to the left thigh. It entered and exited the left thigh. It entered towards the back of the thigh and exited towards the front.
Now, during the course of your autopsy, did you mark each one of these entry and exit wounds with a certain system?
I did, yes. So I'll utilize letters. It just helps me keep track of the different gunshot wounds that I see as I'm documenting them, and then it helps to correlate the gunshot wounds you see in the photographs with what I'm describing in my report.
Okay, and did you photograph each of those lettered wounds?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to show you next what's been marked as states 91 through 96.
Thank you.
Are you familiar with 91 through 96?
Yes, I am.
How are you familiar with them?
Excuse me?
How are you familiar with them?
These are the photographs that were taken during the course of the autopsy.
Okay, and specifically, are these photographs in this batch of the actual wounds that you documented?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I move to admit states 91 through 96 and publish at this time. No objection.
Admitted without objection, then you may publish.
All right, so I want to take them one by one again. States 91, can you hold that up for the jury and talk about what we see in that photograph?
Of course. So this is documenting one of the gunshot wounds, specifically the gunshot wound of the head. This is where the gunshot wound entered. You can see this is our patient's nose, and then right in the center, there's a defect or a hole in the skin, and it's a very rounded hole, and this is where the bullet entered the body.
Okay, so you documented this particular wound as an entry wound?
That is correct.
Was there a corresponding exit wound for this entry wound?
There is not. There was a corresponding bullet that was recovered from within the head.
Okay. All right, and so the next one, 92.
So it's difficult to see where we are, but this is the right hip on the front. So you can see kind of like the pelvis, right hip area. What I'm annotating as B, that is another entrance wound. So it's a rounded hole in the skin where a bullet entered. And then C is what I described as that graze wound. So a bullet just kind of skirted and touched the skin in its pathway without actually entering the body.
All right, now in your report is what you photographed there as B is what you denote as gunshot wound number 2. In your report?
It's within the description of gunshot wounds number 2 through 6.
Okay. And what you have denoted there as C in that photograph, does that correspond with what you noted as gunshot wound number 7?
That's correct.
And did you say, I'm sorry, back to B, that is an entrance wound? That's how you categorize that?
That is correct.
And that is located on the front side of the body?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Now let's move to 93.
So this is again looking at the front of our patient's body. We're looking at his legs, the upper portion of the leg or the thigh.
Wow, your address sounds so familiar.
And you can see there are multiple letters corresponding with defects of the skin in this region. So if you look, this is our patient's right leg. And you can see here there's a letter D and a letter E towards the corner. You can't really see the defect. This is more so just to orient you as to where it is on the body. So D and E represent exit wounds. And you can see here's the knee of the body. And then this is F. F is just to orient you to the defect that's on the back side of the leg. So corresponding with this area on the back of the knee, kind of in the crease of your knee, there's another defect that's F, and that's an entrance wound. Then in the left thigh region, you can see here there's G associated with a wound on the front of the left thigh. That's an exit wound. And then H is just denoting the general location of where that corresponding entrance wound is on the back of that left thigh.
Okay. We'll move to the next photo.
So E is a close-up visualization of that wound that you weren't able to see on the previous photograph on that overall. So E is an exit wound, and it's kind of on the outer surface of the right thigh.
Okay. And the next photo, what number is the next one?
This is, again, I have to orient you on this close-up photograph. So we're looking at the inner right thigh, so right near the groin area. There is a defect labeled as I, and this is another entrance wound.
Okay. The next photo.
Now we're looking at the back surface of our patient, and we're looking at the back of his thighs predominantly. And
I don't know if, as a mother, if I would sit through this part. Nope. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to sleep for the rest of my life knowing, one of my children, this, nope.
you can see up here, K, J, and F, those are all annotating entrance wounds. And then that's the right thigh, and then for your left thigh, there's H, which is another entrance wound on the left.
Okay, and I just want to be clear, in this photograph, we're looking at the back of the legs?
That is correct.
And those letters that you denoted are entrance wounds?
That is correct.
Okay. Is that all the photographs?
Yes.
Okay. I'm now going to show you what's been marked as 97 for 102.
Yep, everything's right there.
Okay. Are you familiar with 97 through 102?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And how are you familiar with them?
So these photographs all have our individualized case number that's associated with Mr. Fort's case.
Okay. And are these photos that were taken during your autopsy?
That is correct.
Okay. Move to admit states 97 through 102 and publish at this time.
No objection.
Admitted without objection.
Okay. So I'd like to go through them in the same manner. So with states 97, what do we see in states 97?
So this is a photograph of any personal effects that we found on our patient when he was brought to us. So this is just what appears to be a lighter.
Okay. And do you recall what area where that was located?
I do not recall.
Okay. But it would have been within the body bag?
That is correct.
Received? Okay. All right. And what about number 98?
98 is one of the projectiles or bullets that were recovered from the body, and this one was recovered from within the head. It's labeled as dura. So dura is a thick membrane that kind of surrounds your brain. So this bullet was within that membrane around the brain.
Okay. And the next photo?
This is one of the 3 bullets that was recovered from within the right leg.
Okay. And the next one?
The second of one of the 3 bullets from the right leg.
And what do we see in the next photograph?
And this is the 3rd bullet that was recovered from the right leg.
Okay. Did you recover 4 projectiles in total from the body?
That is correct.
Okay. And the last photograph there, 102, I believe it is?
Yes. So this is a radiograph or an x-ray. For a large percentage of our cases, when they come in and they're received to us, we will x-ray them before the start of an autopsy. And the x-rays will allow us to see where the bullets are within the body and helps us to recover them for evidence.
Okay. And that's something kind of standard that you do with each autopsy that you get?
It's standardly done for everything that is suspected to be a homicide. And for a handful of other cases, it's always standardly done at the beginning.
Okay, you can just set those photos there. I'm going to show you now what's already been tendered and admitted as states 85.
Okay.
So states 85, the interior of 85, if you'll look through that, are you familiar with those items? And I think it's opened at the bottom.
Oh, sneaky, okay.
Did someone come? Yes. All right, we're going to take a short recess here, so I'm going to ask the jury to please step out into the jury room.
Oh my gosh, we can see the jury. I got you guys, don't worry. I got it.
All right, please be seated. All right, sir, you okay now? You ready to go? All right, very good. I don't want to use the names here. All right, very well. We are back on the record. We have all of our parties in place. We have a properly constituted court. Ms. Pitts, you may proceed.
Yes, I believe where we had stopped off is I had asked you to look in the contents of states 85 there, that paper bag. And
Yes.
I see you pulled those out. So can you just go through each one of those items, tell us, or tell the jury what those items are and where you located them?
So these are the 4 bullets that were recovered at the time of autopsy. This projectile is labeled muscle of right leg, so one of the 3 that was recovered from the right leg. A second projectile labeled right leg. And a third projectile labeled right knee, also from the right leg. And then the last box is labeled Dura, and this was the projectile that was recovered from within the head.
And did these items appear as you kind of bagged and tagged them before they were put into this plastic, or this paper bag?
The only difference is there's some newer evidence tape that was put on after we submitted these bags to the evidence lab.
Okay, and so let's talk about that. So when you collect items during autopsy, sometimes those items are sent to another location. Where are they usually sent?
So,
particularly with firearm evidence.
So we will collect the projectiles, we will package them in those tiny plastic boxes that are within these bags, and then we heat seal them in a plastic bag, and then those are sent to evidence receiving, which is another department within the GBI, and when things go to evidence receiving, the staff there will distribute it to the various labs throughout our facility.
All right, and so during the course of your autopsy of Mr. Fort, were you able to reach a conclusion as to the cause and manner of death in this case?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and what was that?
The cause of death in this case is multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner of death is homicide.
And now in your report, did you note, or in your autopsy that you documented in the report, did you note any soot or gunpowder stippling around any of the 8 gunshot wounds in this case?
No, there was neither soot nor stippling around any of the entrance wounds.
Okay, and in your experience and education, what would the presence of gunshot wound or gunpowder, stippling, or soot, what would it indicate?
So soot and gunpowder stippling are two things that we look for on the outside of the gunshot wound. So on the skin where you have your entrance wound, I'm looking at the skin around it. Am I seeing something called soot, which is essentially just the ash that comes from burnt gunpowder from the end of the muzzle of the gun? Or do we see stippling? And stippling is tiny little scrapes on the skin that are all very punctate and regular in size, and they are a result of the unburnt gunpowder particles striking the skin and making an injury. And these two features are something that will help us determine how far away the muzzle of the gun is from the entrance wound on the person's skin. If we don't have either of those features, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how close or far away the gun was from the person.
Okay, and now if you had noted them, what can you tell about the range at that time?
So if there is soot, you could determine that it's closer contact range. Something else we look for something to be a contact range is a muzzle impression. So if the muzzle of the gun is up against the skin, sometimes it'll scrape the skin in a pattern, and that's called a muzzle impression. So that's consistent with something being contact. Then there's something close range, which is within 6 inches from the skin, and those will have soot and stippling around the entrance wound. And then there's something called intermediate range. So there's no soot, but there is stippling. So it's a little bit further away, and it's within a couple feet of the individual.
Okay, and were you able to classify the range at all in this case?
No, so for this case, because I had neither soot nor stippling or any of those other features, I had to classify this as indeterminate range. So I can't tell you if the gun was too far away to cause these findings, or if there was something between the gun and the individual's skin that would have blocked the soot and stippling.
Okay, and my last question, did you note any defensive wounds to the body of Mr. Fort?
There were no significant
Thank you so much for the Jill's sunshine. I love it. Thank you.
injuries to his hands or arms.
Okay. That's all I have.
Ms. Reed, cross-examination.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Dr. DeMarco.
Good afternoon.
I'm Sarah Beadle, and I am the attorney for the defendant, Mr. Spires. Now, when did you perform the autopsy? Do you recall that day?
I do not recall the specific date. It was January in 2023.
Okay. And when did you receive the body, or do you know?
I would have to refer to the report for when the body was received.
Okay, you don't know offhand?
No, I don't recall the exact date.
Okay, and now you stated you cannot determine how far away the gun, the person, the gun was that shot Mr. Fort, correct?
That is correct. I cannot determine the distance.
Okay, and you would not be able to determine which shot occurred first, would you? In other words, you don't know whether he was shot in the leg first or in the nose first. You don't know, do you?
That's correct. I do not know the order in which he received these gunshot wounds.
I think that's all I have. Thank you.
I hope that he wasn't shot in the thigh first, because the bullet, they had to eject it from his bone in his thigh.
Excuse.
I would ask that she be excused.
Go ahead.
December 28, 2022. Can you tell us, how did you first come to be involved in the case? Like, how does that process work?
So GBI, by state statute, is a request agency for most of our services that we provide. So we have to be requested by a sheriff, a police chief, a district attorney, a superior court judge, or there's several other designees that the state statute allows to request us. So Sheriff Sim Davison requested us to come down and assist in the death investigation of Mr. Ford.
Okay. And so walk us through what steps you take whenever you start your investigation from your first interaction on scene.
So essentially, we get to the scene. Kind of like I stated before, we have to see how many resources we need. At this point, I knew I needed a crime scene specialist. I was probably going to need another agent or two to assist me with the investigation. So getting on scene, I talked to the first folks that arrived. Sometimes that's an investigator, sometimes that's a patrol deputy or officer. Just kind of get a feel of what's going on, what happened. There's a lot of fluid things that change from that first interaction that we have with them, but they give me an overall of what the incident is, who the decedent is, if they know that, any evidence that might be present on the scene, any leads that they might have, or even some occasions there's a person in custody at that time. So we basically get just an overall view of that. Again, things change, things are fluid, and we proceed with our investigation, conducting interviews and the crime scene analysis from there.
Okay. And in this case, and just generally, do you correspond with 911 to get information as far as briefing?
911 directly?
The dispatch, sorry.
Eventually, we will get the 911 recordings. Sometimes 911 centers will call us. They have our numbers posted in 911 centers if somebody, officer says, or the sheriff says, get us GBI. So we talk sometimes through that. We talk sometimes on the phone if we're out, and we may need an officer or deputy for assistance as well.
And Judge, at this time, I'd like to publish from State's Exhibit 6, which is the 911 records that's already been admitted into evidence. So I'd like to publish the file named 10, Position 1, 2022-12-28 at 16:13.
Very well.
And in military time, can you tell me what 16:13 is?
That's 413.
Okay.
That's what?
413.
413, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have me pulled up, Judge?
Oh.
Your volume's
There we
fine.
go.
Relax.
Hey, this is Josh Bauer with GBI. I just had a couple quick questions regarding the case that we're down here working in Milan.
Okay.
Dispatch time for the 911 call, or the 911 call that came in. Do you have the exact time?
Okay. You said your name was?
Josh Ballard.
Ballard?
Yes, ma'am. GBI 180.
Okay. The initial call was 1339.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the truck that was laying in Jacksonville for being on fire, did y'all pull the tag on that?
No, we got a third-party call from one of the Jacksonville units, Jacksonville 3, that I guess they received a call about a truck being in the ditch on fire.
Okay.
There was no tag run. They said that the tag was burned up.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Who's Jacksonville 3?
Terry, I believe Terry Neal.
Terry Neal? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Yes,
and is there, I guess I can just come back at some point and start getting all the stuff downloaded, because I know I'll probably have to speak with somebody or fill out a form or something.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Okay, and did that sound like your voice?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Okay. Okay. Now, we talked a little bit about you being a lead agent. How do the lead agent and the other agents work together in a case like this?
Well, the lead agent may be giving leads to another agent, and they will go out, follow up on those leads, whatever that thing was. If I asked them to go conduct an interview, if I asked them to get surveillance, if I asked them to execute a search warrant, or maybe even apply for a search warrant, I would let them know that. There would be conversations back and forth. When they got done with the interviews, if there was something pertinent, they would probably call me and let me know, hey, we're looking for X, Y, and Z. This pertinent information was obtained from the interview I conducted or from the investigative act that I conducted. So, like I said, myself is still running and doing those type of things as well, but there's communication with all the agents on scene, the different scenes that we had at the time.
Okay. And in this case, there were 2 search warrants obtained. Did you obtain 2 search warrants?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, and what were those search warrants on?
One of the search warrants was for the residence of Mr. Spires to collect any items of evidentiary value there. And then when the vehicle that he was driving that caught on fire, it was brought back here to the sheriff's office. I obtained a search warrant to search it as well.
Okay. What number are you at? 105?
I see maybe 1 out of every 10 comments. I can see sometimes I know that you guys are talking because I can see it on my live stream. And then I missed some comments. But then other times I don't see it there. But then I see everybody say ha 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 Bren or okay Bren or whatever. I don't see the comment. Or not just you, it's everybody. So like I'm like seeing nothing. No comments. And then sometimes I try to type a comment. Sometimes I get the big X, the big red X, retry. And I'm not able to type. And then other times it says that I sent my message, but I don't see it. And nobody says anything. So I don't know. It's gotten, today's pretty bad. I know, me too.
I'll show you what's been marked as states 105 and 106. You familiar with states 105?
Country, city, state. What is it? Let's go. I don't think there is one.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, and what is states 105?
That's an affidavit and then a command by a judge for the search warrant. The residence located at 47 Southeast Railroad Street, Milan, Telfair County, Georgia. That's the residence of Mr. Spires.
Okay, does that truly and accurately reflect the search warrant that you obtained that day?
Yes, ma'am, it's a copy of it.
Okay, I'd move to admit states 105.
No objection.
Admitted without objection.
All right, and are you
Is YouTube owned by Alphabet? Right?
familiar with states 106?
Yes, ma'am. Again, that's a affidavit and a search warrant command for a white and color Chevrolet pickup truck that we put a GBI evidence property tag on. That was a truck belonging to Mr. Spires.
Okay, and that's the truck that was the subject of the fire in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and does that accurately reflect the search warrant that you obtained and got signed by a judge?
Yes, ma'am.
Move to admit states 106.
No objection.
Admitted without objection.
Okay. Now, you conducted some interviews in this case. Do you recall who specifically did you interview in this case?
I believe I spoke to Miss Lynn Spires, the wife of Mr. Brandon Spires at the time. I spoke with Mr. Brandon Spires several times.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. I got consent from a couple of folks just to search the properties.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. I think we've already admitted those into evidence, but there were essentially 2 areas of interest, would you agree, in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Or potentially 3. The first one, that area on Mount Zion Street.
Yes, ma'am.
And who did that property belong to?
That was Miss Janice Cartwright was the person that owned.
Yo, I got reamed big time a couple days ago at my job. So I bring this lady a sweet tea, and trust me when I say our tea is grossly sweet. Our lemonade and iced tea are so sickening sweet. I bring her iced tea. She takes a sip out of it and tells me that I got her drink wrong. It's not a sweet tea, but I know it is. Anyway, I bring her another. I put it in front of her. I said, do you want to taste this one while I'm here to make sure it's okay? She tastes it. It's not sweet enough. I said, okay, fine. There's some sweetener right over there. Do you want Splenda, sweet and low, sugar. She goes, sweet and low. I bring her 7 packets of sweet and low. 7. I know that I did. Just like I know I gave her a sweet tea the first time I put her drink down. I know I did. So I bring the 7 packets and I go away. I did what I could. Well, then before the show's about to start, you know, she's waving. Even though I was just over there, it doesn't matter. She's, you know, so I go over. She's like, can I have another drink before the show? So no ice this time. No ice. Fine. I bring her a drink with no ice. She goes, where's the sweet and low? I said, I already dropped off 7 packets of sweet and low. Did you use them all? She says, you only brought 5. Still. Okay, let's say, which I didn't. Let's say I only brought 5 packets of sweet and low. She did not use 5 packets of sweet and low in that one drink. You can't drink that. That's disgusting. I know they're in her purse. I already know they're in her purse. So I'm like, okay, well, they're right over. I'll go get them. So because I said they're right over, I'll go get them, I guess that was an attitude, which I think it was. I'm not going to disagree with her on that one. I may have had an attitude when I said, sure, they're right over, I'm going to go get one. So I realized that I did just cop an attitude with one of the customers who was unhappy. And that's not good for business. So the show starts. I gave her a big frickin' handful of sweet and lows. She can go put them in her purse, whatever, I don't care. Show starts. And then cost me $1.85 for a big bag of cotton candy because I work there. So I bought her a big bag of cotton candy. So the halftime, like there's an intermission. So I go out to her. I said, look, I don't know if this tea is still sweet enough for you or not. Here's some cotton candy. It's really sweet. It'll help you with your sweet tooth. And then that was it. That was the interaction I had with her. She was still pissed off at me for the rest of the show, right? That was for one iced tea. That was for one drink. And that lasted a couple hours because, you know, she was mad. Imagine being a police officer or an FBI agent or a GBI agent on a case where a mother lost her son. Imagine what these officers go through with the families of the victims. It has to be unfreaking bearable. What did you find out today? Did you investigate this? Did you check out this guy? He was looking weird. Why didn't you investigate this guy? You know what I mean? I'm really good with pain in the asses. I just showed it to you. No other server there would have bought her a cotton candy. They would have went into the tunnel and complained about her, which I didn't do. Champ is not a bad thing here, though. I would think you're calling me a champion. I just would. The other lady at the table with this lady, they came on this big bus. Okay, there were 4 buses that day. And the people who come on the buses don't know each other. They just all sign up for this bus trip together to do things. Okay? Well, the other lady at the table that day, she was a server in a different place. And she came up to me afterwards and gave me $20. She said, I can't believe how great you were with that. So I did. I made $20 off that one bag of cotton candy. So that was happy for me. Right? But I don't think you would be able to find where I work because I've never told anybody except for Zach. But imagine, what my point was, imagine this guy on the stand dealing with the family. Oh my gosh.
And you spoke with Ms. Cartwright, or someone from your agency spoke with Ms. Cartwright?
Yes, ma'am.
And obtained the consent to serve?
That's right.
Okay, and that's the area where the event took place?
That's right, yes, ma'am.
Or the murder took place? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then the second area in this case was the area where the firearm was recovered, excuse me. Who was the property owner of that?
That was Mr. Charles Dooley.
Okay, and how did you come to know about that location?
The second interview I conducted with Mr. Spires, he made an admission that the firearm was placed into a It was a well, but it could best be described as a dry well. It had other items of evidence, and it wasn't a water type well, but it was on the property owned by Mr. Dooley behind a very old homestead, kind of an abandoned residence that had grown up there.
Okay, and, I know we talked briefly about the search for the firearm with, well, we'll come back to that. I want to just get into these interviews. So you interviewed Brandon Spires in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, and how many times did you interview Mr. Spires?
2 interviews.
Okay. Where did those interviews take place?
At the Telfair County Sheriff's Office Jail Complex out in Milan.
Okay. All right, let's take them one by one. Where and when did the first interview take place?
That was on December 28th, the same day of the incident, 2022, at approximately 5:25 p.m. At the jail.
Okay, and who was present during that interview?
Myself and Investigator Ron Bowden of the Telfair County Sheriff's Office.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 107. Are you familiar with State's 107?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, can you explain for us, how are you familiar with it? What is it?
It is a GBI Miranda Waiver of Rights form, a form that we commonly use at the Bureau.
Okay. And does this accurately reflect the form that you used in your first interview with Mr. Spires?
It does.
Okay. I'd move to admit State's 107.
Ms. Riddle? Admitted.
Okay. And the interview that you conducted there at the jail with Mr. Spires, did he indicate that he understood his rights, and did he agree to speak with you?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
Okay. And
2 things. There's 15 minutes left in this, and we're running over time because I keep pausing and talking. But I'm just letting you know it will go over 2 hours today. There's 15 minutes left. And thing number 2, the judge cuts the stream off abruptly today. I don't know why, but in 15 minutes she's just gonna, and then tomorrow we go to a different person.
And did you threaten or coerce him in any way to talk to you?
No, ma'am.
Did you observe any other people in the room do that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And promise anything to get him to talk to you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you record that interview?
I did.
Okay. All right, before I get into the actual interview, I'm going to go ahead and ask you briefly, the second interview that you conducted at Brandon Spires, when did that interview take place?
A little bit later that evening. I think that was around, refer to my notes real quick, about 8:24 p.m. on the same date.
Okay, and did you again go over Mr. Spires' Miranda rights on that occasion?
I did.
Show you what's been marked as States 108. You familiar with States 108?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And what is States 108?
Again, it's a GBI Miranda Waiver of Rights form that we go over with a person being interviewed.
Okay, and is that the interview that accurately reflects the Miranda waiver that you went over with Mr. Spires on the second interview?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I move to admit States 108.
No objection?
Admitted.
Okay. Was that interview also recorded?
It was.
Who was present during the second interview?
During the second interview, another agent had arrived, James Craft. He was present with me then.
Was that again conducted at the jail?
It was.
Okay. And during that interview, did Mr. Spires indicate that he understood his rights and agreed to speak with you?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
And did you threaten or coerce him in any way on that occasion?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Did you promise him anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you observe anyone else threaten or promise him or coerce him in any way to speak with you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And was that interview also recorded?
It was.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as States 109. Are you familiar with States 109?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is States 109 to you?
It was a thumb drive that had audio recordings on it from the interviews.
I moved to admit 109 and publish that at the time.
It has both of them?
Yes.
No objection.
Admitted.
And I'll label them A and B for the record.
Your Honor, may we approach for just one moment?
You may.
What number do we say? 109? All right, so the first one will be labeled State's Exhibit 109A.
Hey man, how are you? You just have a seat, I'll check it. You doing all right today?
A little bit better.
My name's Josh Ballard. I work with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation out of the East Coast. And this is investigator Rob Ballard. I don't know if you met him.
I've seen him before, yeah.
We've talked before.
Yes, sir.
So basically, we had a lot going on today, and the sheriff's office asked us to come in and help them a couple investigations along the way. So, and that's why I want to sit down and have a chance to talk to you. But since they brought you in and everything like that, you've been in the cell, I just want to go over your rights with you to make sure you understand all that today. What is your full name?
Brandon Daniel Spires.
Okay. How old are you, Mr. Spires?
28.
Okay. And what's your address?
I live right there beside you. 47 Southeast Railroad Street.
Okay.
I'm talking about smack dab in the yard with them.
Really?
Yeah, y'all just don't bother nobody, see what I'm saying? Y'all don't bother nobody, neither y'all good neighbors. Well, I reckon you got a whole nother outfit over there.
Yeah, we up there in Eastman, so we come down here from time to time.
Yes, sir.
What grade did you complete in school?
I went to the 10th grade.
Okay.
And then got my, I'm working on getting my GED because I ain't got a criminal record. I did get some trouble for some marijuana, but
yeah.
It got sealed, so
yeah,
I can still get any job.
Okay. Well, let me tell you, what's your date of birth?
10/9/93. I'm gonna go to the base, but I'm not. I'm working Wisconsin. I'm gonna buy.
Yeah, what you want to do up there?
I don't know, man. I just since my bachelor, I don't know. I just want something different. I'm selling furniture.
Yeah.
And I do online sales.
Okay.
So I got one thing over there is the office. One of my rooms is an office, and I sell fat lighter and stuff like that. On my truck, I was trying to throw all the damn fat lighter off of it so it didn't blaze up.
Yeah.
You sit over to the side.
Well, I wasn't out there. Before we get into all that,
blew up, man.
Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and go over this with you before we get started, so that you understand everything.
Yes, sir.
The phone says today is the 28th of December, 2022. It's approximately 5:25 p.m.
Yes, sir.
We're at the Telfair County Jail.
Yes, sir.
Your name is Brandon Daniel Spires. You're 28 years old. Your address is 47 Southeast Railroad Street, Milan, Georgia. You completed the 10th grade in school. You know that myself, Joshua Ballard, is a special agent with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
Yes,
and I'm going to tell you that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer, have him present with you before, let me go through that one again. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements.
Yes, sir.
Okay, our form goes on to say, I understand my rights, having these rights in mind, I'm now willing to talk to a law enforcement officer. You haven't been threatened, you haven't been promised anything, you haven't been forced in any way to answer any questions or make any statements.
Be nice for a cigarette, but no, you don't say that.
Okay. Well, if you're good with all that, if I could just get your signature there where it says name.
I got you on my name.
What kind of cigarettes you smoke?
I got regular with Marlboro lighter.
Okay. Do you bring them with you, or you? Okay.
I just have a lighter. I had to use the daggum thing on the truck. I had a CD player on my truck. I guess it was hard. I don't know what the hell it did, but when I hit that ditch, man, it sounded like it was 4 minutes. It was just some of the smoke. I was trying to breathe it in. You know what I'm saying?
What kind did you just put the CD player in it?
No, I mean I took it out, man, because it just, my CD player didn't work, man.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't hook Bluetooth.
Okay.
So I took it out days ago, and it just had the wires, and I didn't know it was going to do all that.
Okay. What, you said you hurt your back doing something?
Yes, sir.
What was that all about?
Oh, man, I really don't. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know, what are we here for?
Well, I was just, I
know you're being very respectful, sir, and I appreciate that 110%.
Yeah.
Well, they ain't even told me why they put me in coach.
Okay.
The woman told me to shit in the middle of the floor.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so your truck, when it was seen on fire, and you weren't around the, down there, they're trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Oh, I see that.
Did somebody start it? Did it get stolen? Did everything like that happened? So that's what we're trying to figure out.
Right. I was riding down the dirt road. I ride all the time. You see, I mean, I ride. When I say I ride.
Yeah.
Like, since I've been on workman's comp, I ride all day. I started early this morning riding. So I went down there to the river, rode around a little bit.
Where at?
I was going to go to McCraney's Landing, but I missed it.
Okay.
All right, so I thought Jim Boone Road was the river road, right? Because I could tell, I just turned on it. And I've just been going through a lot lately, man, and I was just thinking, and then a deer come out, and when the deer come out, I swerved and hit the ditch. And then when it hit the ditch, it wasn't but I don't know if it shook the wires or what, but they was crappy in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
about what time of the day was that?
Man, I had not, you ever not had a phone on you? That was my day. I don't have a phone.
Okay. So
when I left, I don't know what time it was. When you ain't got a phone, you don't know what time it is, what day it is, and anybody can relate to that.
I hear you. Well, maybe we can try to do it this way. Had you woke up and eaten breakfast? Was it later to the day?
He legitimately doesn't have a phone. That's not a lie. He didn't put it in the truck to get it burned to hide evidence. He does not have a phone. And we're going to find out why tomorrow.
You just got up, or about what time was it?
Man, I've already got an attorney obtained. I mean, he's and I'm not being, ugly. I called him not because of anything being planned, but I called him 3 days ago because of a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if you know David Eagle. I've hired him before.
Okay, well, let me clarify, since we went over your rights in your form. Do you want to keep talking, or are you asking to invoke your right to an attorney?
I would rather have an attorney.
Okay.
Because I'm innocent of whatever. I didn't light that truck on fire, man.
Well, there's a lot that's gone on before and after that, too.
There's two sides to every story, so if you ever want to tell what's the other side, your side. So, that's what I'm here. I'm not against you, man, but I ain't never had good luck with law before. Man, and I'm not, sir, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being disrespectful. Yes, sir. Good luck to you.
Interview concluded approximately 5:31.
Okay. This interview was about 7 minutes and some change. At the conclusion of your interview, Mr. Spires asked for an attorney. In law enforcement world, what does that mean for you, and what do you do when that happens?
Instantly, I'm going to terminate the interview at that point. If somebody's requested their attorney and we've gone over their Miranda rights with them, that concludes the interview, and I'm not going to probe any further or ask any more questions.
Okay. And so did you then stop the interview whenever you stopped this recording?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I think you said there at the end that was about 5:31 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, earlier you testified there was a second interview in this case of Mr. Spires, and that interview was at around 8:24 p.m., so roughly almost 3 hours later.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell us what were the circumstances that led you to do another interview of Mr. Spires?
Yes, ma'am. As the investigation continued, like I said, we had gotten a search warrant for his residence, I believe, by that time or somewhere in that time frame. Conducted more interviews, had gotten the surveillance footage, and at that point, I appeared before the judge and laid out the case facts, and he determined that there was enough probable cause to issue an arrest warrant for Mr. Spires for the murder and other charges pertaining to that. So I'd actually taken arrest warrants for him at that point. I went back to the jail. Part of our process is to serve a person. We would give them a copy of their arrest warrants, let them know that they were arrested and in custody. GBI also has a couple little forms we fill out as housekeeping matters, just with biographical information. It's not questioning regarding the case. It's just your height, weight, emergency contact. We take some photographs at the point of arresting. So at that point, he'd been notified of that and had requested to speak with us after the arrest warrants were served on him.
Okay. So did you actually serve the arrest warrants on him, or did someone else?
I believe it was myself and Agent Kraft went in there.
Okay. And during that process, he directly asked to have an interview with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And okay, I'll publish that interview at this time. And for the record, I'm going to label it 109B.
come up 2 counts of felony murder. He's gonna explain all that. Listen, just take a deep breath. Look at me. Look at me. Look. Just take a deep breath, all right?
But I ain't never made a good cop yet, man.
Okay.
You should, like, you should have taken up for them. Tell you what's going on, you don't really tell them, and then they fucking do one of my family members.
No. We got, hey, listen to you.
I want my mom and daddy to put him in the detention.
Okay. All right.
You ain't gonna do it, man. Y'all bullshit, man. Swear to God, man.
Here's the thing.
You know, 6 months ago, I was a preacher, man. I preached the word of God. I went to places and preached the word of God, man. I got with this woman, and ever since then, I've been doing a fucking crazy house or rehab.
Well, and I'll go ahead and be honest with you. I've been literally around the world with churches and church organizations. This man is very involved in his church, and we get it.
In church again, probably. Not Mild Baptist, because everybody's gonna think I'm doing something like that. But man, I'm gonna shoot it straight with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot it straight with you. You know, I believe in Jesus Christ, man. I believe in godly marriage. I spent the last 2 months by myself, man. You know, y'all remember Josh, for real.
No, we're not even from it. We work out of Eastman. We cover 12 counties. We don't know anybody really.
But these people up here will fucking kill me if you don't leave me up here, man. I can't do it. And it's not that I'm killing everybody. I'm just telling you what kind of fucking person Josh is. That motherfucker has ruined every fucking thing I got. He ruined my eBay business. I hurt him. They ruined my Macquarie. I got a Macquarie eBay business. That's a foul. I don't know. Right? He ruined it. They ruined it. They fuck with me, man. That's what they do, right? My wife started off, she comes and got man. Do y'all know my wife, man?
I don't. Hey, before we get started, I want to re-advise you of everything that we talked about earlier, just so that I know you've got to get it. Absolutely, and I want to.
Tell the fucking truth.
Hey, just calm down.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I gunned him down.
Okay, well, hey, let's.
But you don't know what he's done and how it went down.
Listen, we want you to tell your story. Let them read this, okay? Then tell us, all right? Listen to me.
And nobody around town says you're a bad guy.
No, I'm a good guy, man.
Yeah, but so.
Brandon.
Okay, well, so here's the deal. I know before when we spoke, you had asked for your attorney, so you asked to re-speak to me again.
I just want to tell you the truth about it.
Absolutely.
And I want it all documented.
Okay, well, I'm going to. Let me start with this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we talked. Yes,
Let them read this.
so we talked at 5:25, and again, you said you requested an attorney. Just now, we spoke with you, and you requested to speak with me again, so now it's 12/28, December 28, 2022, at approximately.
I don't know why the feed just got cut right there. That's when the judge ended the day. And then he started it up again the next day. So, I don't know. But it's okay because we didn't understand what they were saying anyway. But it sounded like he started wrestling with the investigator. Or the interviewer. I know my words. I know English. Jeez. So tomorrow we're going to finish the trial tomorrow if I don't talk too much. We might go over a little bit tomorrow. I'm trying to cut, so it's well under 2 hours. But just like today, we went over by 13 minutes. We might go over a little bit tomorrow. Anyway, what did it say, Friday? Yes, sir. Go to work, guys. Make a lot of money, and then come and see me tomorrow morning. And there'll be a stream. Unless there's not, then there won't be a stream. But thank you for coming out. I really, 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 really appreciate it. I hope that you guys have a great day. And I'll see you again real soon, okay? Bye, guys.
Well, I thought I'd write a happy song. I found a chat room where I belong. You don't know how much it means to me. With such a groove, I'm less lonely. Oh, Kathy's the creator. She's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her smile shines bright. She's her joy she can't hide. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At court vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her style is classy, she's always top shelf. Don't take my word, come and see for yourself. Her cases are new with a twist or two. I really like them, I believe you will too. A little lifeline passed along in rhyme. Why don't you join us? It's a guaranteed good time. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At court vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her smile shines bright, she's got that grace. Come join the fun, it's a welcoming place. And so in conclusion, I'll wrap up this song. I hope I didn't miss anything that would be wrong. Hope I see you around. Don't stay on the shelf, join in the laughter. Come and see for yourself.